And three, two, one, kablow. Welcome to episode number 7 of Break Free Worldwide podcast,
Podcast.
live from Break Free Worldwide headquarters. I'm Jeremy, joining with Moy and our special guest,
Your boy Jav.
double CEO Javier
Yes,
of
sir.
Soul Street Dance Company and HTX Tactical. How you feeling?
Yeah, man.
I'm good, man. I couldn't be happier.
Yes, sir. We've been seeing you making a lot of power moves, living life. So it's good time to catch up with you. I know you got a lot to say, and I don't know, man. We can start with your journey as a dancer. I know we got a lot of b-boys and b-girls tuning in.
Yeah, let me say something real quick. So for everybody tuning in, this is my boy Javier, man. B-boy from the 90s, Houston, Texas. Been holding it down for a long time for his city. Touring around the world, around the country, nonstop. But now got some crazy new ventures that we'll eventually talk about on the show. But I just wanted to share a little bit more about him, man, because the b-boy community may not know a lot about him, but there's b-boys that do know about him. And we wanted to bring him on the show to talk about going from breaking to business and making just some power moves, like real power moves.
Absolutely.
You know, and changing the game with the things that you're doing, man. So we're happy to have you on the show. And so hopefully we can create some good discussion and educate some people.
Yes, sir. So we'll start from the beginning. Obviously, growing up, if you don't know my backstory, grew up poor, don't know my dad, had a very abusive mom, like past abuse, like again, poor, so we had to go like steal food and whatnot. And for me, younger, growing up, and shout out Bruce Lee, it's his birthday today. And I say that because growing up, watching Bruce Lee movies in the 80s is like, man, I want to be like Bruce Lee, so I want to know martial arts. Obviously, I was poor, so we couldn't go do martial arts. Then eventually, I saw breaking. I was like, wow, I want to learn how to break. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So you know how it is in the 90s. It was a couple VHSs, and that was it.
We know how it is.
Yeah, we know. He was in Pampers. Just lock myself in a room and just train. train. And then maybe 2 years into b-boying, Coro, before you turn to have a Coro. So that's pretty much the generation above me that they were in a dance company, and I was like, man, I want to do that. They're getting some money and traveling.
And that started pretty quick for you because you said you were 2 years in.
Exactly.
You met some guys from Coro. And what was the name of the dance company? It was Fly, right?
It was Fly. It
Yeah.
was Fly. So they were doing that, and then Mario, Raglan, Cold Cuts, and all them. And so we were the younger cats, and we wanted to be like them. We were young teenagers, and so eventually we would do like a piece here in Houston if there was like a modern dance event. It was more modern dance, ballet more than anything. And so what kind of separated us was we were using b-boying and doing it to classical music.
Gotcha.
And so we did that, and then like 2 years out of high school, I had my kid, Cheyenne, and I was like, b-boying and the events aren't paying. Obviously I'm getting a few dollars doing some shows, so I'm gonna stick to this.
Yeah.
And then fast forward till now, 20 years deep in the game, touring the world, have one of the top outreach shows in the nation.
With which company?
Soul Street.
Soul
Street Street's 12 years old now.
So you founded it when?
2006.
2006.
Yeah. So Fly ended on a sour note. We wanted to continue dancing.
Yeah.
And we're like, just start our own company, and that's what led into me starting the first business.
I think that's dope though, because there's a lot of people that kind of go through this community or through life through a journey, and if something doesn't go right for them, they just give up on everything. But you kept on. You started something new. You knew you wanted to dance, right?
Sure.
And you knew what it did for you and what it did for other people, like the impact that it created. So you started Soul Street. Tell us a little bit more about Soul Street, what it is, how many people are in it. Was it just you when you started, et cetera?
Yeah, so Soul Street, it's like 4 or 5 of us. We have a DJ as well. And we do theater shows, we do outreach shows, we do shows and festivals. We also do a lot of embassy work. So we'll go to different countries and do that. And I know y'all done a few of those. And even though you might not have seen me in the scene a lot, trust me when I tell you we've made a big impact on a different level as far as reaching out to the mass public.
Yeah.
To the kids.
How many countries have you guys been to?
Oh, too many to count. But yeah, a lot of countries.
Yeah.
Just most recently we got back from Malta, and we just finished a 1-month tour about 3 weeks ago. But just educating the regular people on the hip hop culture, b-boying, dancing, and tying education into that.
Yeah.
And so just putting it on a mass level so other people understand. Even like we did a school show, and there was a coach who came up to us. He's like, you know what? After seeing your show, I used to go up to kids who were dancing and get them in trouble and all that. But, you know, seeing what y'all did, you know, it changed my mind. And, you know, if we can change one person's mind, you know, we're doing our job.
Yeah.
And just, again, just education, education, education. And I preach that in everything I do, and even my other business as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
sure.
if you don't, you just got to get educated.
Yeah.
On everything.
No, I think it's important. I think that you said something cool too. That, you know, a lot of people may not know you, you know, on the b-boy level, or
sure.
you know, you're making a big impact in the competition world. But you know, your focus was theater outreach, and you guys were doing that. And I think a lot of people really try to focus. We talked a lot about competitions, and there are those b-boys and b-girls that just focus on that. And to be honest, it may not be for them. You know what I mean? It may not be for them. And not to say that competition wasn't for you guys,
for sure.
but this was something else that just did it for you, you know? And you followed through with it, and today you're still doing it. You're still doing it on another level. You just said you came back from a 1-month tour.
Correct.
You know, so I think that's dope. I think that b-boys and b-girls should not only focus on, like, things competitively. If you can do that, that's great. That should kind of be an extra, you know, kind of like the cherry on top of your ice cream cone or the cake. But at the same time, continue to make an impact with other avenues.
Yeah, for sure. And the crazy thing is like how I grew up, and, you know, all the gang violence and, you know, the drugs and seeing people get shot next to me, and, like, you name it, to find myself in the performing arts world. It's like, sometimes I think about it, I was like, man, that's crazy. Like, my life just, you know, 180 from that environment to the performing arts. Like, it's got to be a rare occurrence coming from the hood, at least back then. To be a performing artist. Yeah,
no, that's super dope, man.
Yeah, a big topic we always talk about is creating your own lane, and I think you're a good example of that. So you have Soul Street Dance Company, 20 years deep into it.
For
this
sure.
Established performing arts company that's toured around the world, and, you know, done their part in that, still doing it, and now you're transitioning to a different part, a different company, different business, which is HTX Tactical.
Correct.
So break it down, what it is, what's your vision, what
so
that is.
I'll get to HTX, but as far as the dance, I forgot what I was gonna say, so let's go to HTX. But yeah, no, I was gonna say, you know, starting, you know, performing, my thing was, you know, I grew up poor, I didn't have money, and, you know, jams did not pay at all. So it was like, hey, they're paying me to do
They
shows.
still don't. They're getting better, but they still don't.
They don't. But the platform you have, like with Monster and all that, I mean, I think that's a good look.
Yeah,
you know,
for
obviously
sure.
there's haters, and as you said, you know, creating my own lane, that was one thing that this, I guess, is a part of my DNA. Is like, you know what, I don't care about being in your crew.
You come from a place where you have to hustle.
For sure.
You know, you said you grew up poor. You grew up in the hood when gang activity was big, drug activity was big. So that means you hung around with drug dealers. You hung around gangsters.
For sure.
You know, you grew up in that environment where you have no choice but to survive. And so that's one of the main reasons also, you know, talking about creating your own lane has got you to create your own lane, because you have that hustle mentality. You know, I think a lot of people really dig deep and try to create this hustle mentality, but it's very hard for them. But when you have no choice, when you have no options, it becomes like this is the only option.
Yeah,
so I have to find a way out of it. You know, I've talked about the same thing even about me. Like coming up, I grew up getting shot at. You know, going to school with a gun. The things that I don't even want to say sometimes, but it's just the absolute truth, because the neighborhoods we grew up in, the people that were trying to teach us the wrong way, but, you know, we were trying to fit in and look cool. And then you found this immediate shift, right, which was the dancing or hip hop or whatever. I said it's a lot, but it sounds corny, but it's hard to even explain that 180 shift, because the way you said it is exactly for me. It's just like, how did I go from this to that?
Exactly.
You know, and it still blows my mind to this day, but I think it's pretty dope when you accept it and you still know where you come from, but you know what you need to promote today to continue to educate people the right way.
For sure.
You know?
I think I know what you was going to say about dance.
What's that?
You still could smoke some people on the floor.
I still get down. That's the thing. Like I still get down, and trust me, I love competition, all types of competition. But it's like, even I compete with myself as far as
that's what makes you a good hustler.
Yeah, for sure. Like, dude, when I was little,
Being competitive.
you know, being poor, I would go and literally buy like 12-pack of Coke cans, some chips.
I thought you were going to say cocaine.
I was like 5. You know, but you know, I would flip them at my house. You know.
Yeah.
And just try to make some extra change, and then obviously my mom stole it from me. Why you steal it from me? But you know, it's like
It's in your DNA.
It's in my DNA. It's
Yeah.
like I have to hustle, I have to work hard, and I have to just keep going and going. And like, even my wife tells me, you know, put the phone down or don't do this. And it's
That's
like,
every day for me. So Roxanne, if you watch it, see, we're not the only ones.
Yeah, we're not the only ones. But
Yeah.
you know, he does it too.
So does he.
But, you know, I can't help it though. It's like it's just part of me, and I gotta go and I gotta get
Well,
it.
that's I think that comes from your artistry. Kind of on the artist side, it's
For
like
sure.
you're always creating, you're always brainstorming, trying to create something new. You know, I think we all kind of struggle with that. Some of us maybe a little bit more than others. But at the same time, it's like when you come from a place where you have no choice but to create something,
Yeah.
then that stays with you.
Yeah,
And
for
so when
sure.
people tell me to stop that, that's hard. You know, sometimes even when I talk to my wife, I'm like, I get it. Trust me, she needs her time too,
Yeah.
and my time with her. But at the same time, it's like it's very hard to stop thinking about just things you want to do,
I know.
things you want to create, because we're not satisfied. You know,
Never.
yeah, we're not we know where we come from. We know what we want, what we think we need, and what we feel like we deserve. Right?
And that's crazy you said that because she told me that she's like, you're never satisfied. I was like, honestly, I don't think I'll ever be satisfied
Yeah.
in my life. It doesn't matter what
Ever.
I do. Like, I'm proud of something, you know. a lot of
You're
the things I do-
satisfied to a certain extent with
Correct.
things,
Exactly.
right? With things, but never satisfied because
Yeah, I'm never satisfied.
yeah,
Well, it's elevation.
life is still going.
It's,
Yeah, for
it's,
sure.
The better way to put it is you always crave elevation. You always want to elevate.
There you
always
go.
want to take things to the next level.
Yep.
For sure.
That's
No,
embedded
that's a
in,
great way to put it.
in entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
You know?
And it goes
So-
back to, like you said, like creating your lane, right? So in the 90s, trying to join a dance company, being a B-boy is like, that was no, right?
Yeah,
People will talk mess. Now it's a cool
Yeah.
thing to do. Like,
they'll call you Little
everybody's got-
Tinkerbell.
Yeah, everybody's got theater shows.
that
Everybody's
what
got
they used to
this.
yeah,
Oh, you know Tinkerbell.
yeah.
Yeah.
What you wearing? A little tutu to dance?
Bro, in the 90s, no, sir.
Yeah.
But again, like, I don't care what people say.
Well, people talk about the golden era and all that, but it's like that's what it really was. It's like that's what was prevalent. That was
Yeah.
normal. Was people getting down raw in a gritty way.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
Yeah, so it's completely flipped in that
And
way.
plus, I've been through so much thing in my life. Like, you saying that is like, you know, to me. Plus, back then, I might would have slapped you. Right now, I'm cool.
He'll sue you now.
Yeah.
For slander. See your life.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's talk about transitioning into the second business that you started, the history behind HTX Tactical and the vision.
So
how everything started.
transitioning to the new business, which is HTX Tactical. So basically, I took the gun industry by storm about a year ago, and it's just booming like no other. Because we started our own lane. As far as the gun industry, it's always been like, you know, either military or, you know, I hate to say it, but a lot of, you know, racist people that kind of run the industry.
Yeah.
And it's hardcore Republicans. So, and I saw that, and I've always been to firearms, but I've also been to education because, as you said, and you know, I know, growing up in the hood, like you see everybody with a, you know, a firearm that's
Yeah.
owned illegally.
Yeah.
But
for
whenever
sure.
they do use it or have it, like they don't know how to use it, or they
Right.
don't understand it. They don't have that respect for it. And whenever you really do get into the 2A culture, you know, the Second Amendment is like, you're like, man, you know, you really do gain a respect, and it's a whole lifestyle.
Especially in Texas, right?
Yeah, for sure, especially in Texas. Even in your, you know, communist states in, you know,
Yeah.
America, you know,
Yeah.
California and New York
Right.
and all that. Like, you got all these gun people, but like they can't even own half of the stuff we have.
True.
But they're still there, and you know, creating awareness. And I linked up with a company called Texas Law Shield, which is run by a bunch of lawyers, and all they do is just educate on it. And if you ever have to use your, you know, firearm for in a situation, you know, you got lawyers right behind you, you know, to handle whatever you need to handle. And as far as HTX Tactical, you know, I like, obviously being a B-boy, we like to be fresh. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just part of the DNA of the
Yeah.
hip hop
That's
culture.
exactly.
Right? So you want to be fresh. So being able to bring that into the gun industry and cater to us, and when I say us, I mean the urban hip hop community and whatever
Yeah.
else, it's been, we're doing something that's never been done, but
Yeah.
at a high level. All, you know, 20 years of performing on stage, live theater shows, all-star games in front of 8,000. Like, I performed on every level that you could think of at the highest rate,
Yeah.
and doing live shows every night.
Yeah.
And so whenever you do that, you have to have a high level of professionalism, creativity, and doing all that. So I was able to bring that into this,
Yeah.
and just boom.
And your artistry, because you said you
Absolutely.
you had to bring in the freshness, you know.
Absolutely.
So tell us more about like what you guys are doing, because I know people are hearing HTX Tactical, they're hearing guns, but
sure.
what exactly is the business?
Basically, you're the Johnny Dang of guns.
Exactly. Yeah, no, for sure. So basically, what we do.
Wait, speaking of Johnny Dang, what's up with that jewelry you got on?
Yeah,
Hey, shout out Johnny Dang.
Hey, it's time.
Oh, look at that. Bling, 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 bling.
That's when you know the gun business is booming.
Yeah. It's not a release, it's stolen. But yeah, so what we do is, if you have a firearm or if you want to buy a standard one from us, we'll customize it to however you want it. So we literally do slide cuts, and a slide cut is if you get a CNC machine, you'll go get the top of the slide of the firearm, and you'll cut holes and dentions or whatever the case may be. And then we'll go in and do something called Cerakoting, which is a gun paint where basically you sandblast the gun, you degrease it, you bake it to get all the all the fingerprints off and the oils and all that. And
you guys, all like you're not sending
this all in
nowhere. This is all in the house.
It's all in
That's
house.
Freaking amazing.
We got like almost a 4,000 square foot facility right now where
that's
we do
awesome, man.
everything in the back. And Cerakoting, we do laser stippling, hand stippling. Basically, what that is part of the grip. Hand stippling, you'll get a better grip of the firearm. Laser stippling is more for like designs and just a cool look to it.
So basically, anything somebody wants to do to a gun that you can
exactly.
do.
Yeah, and real quick, if you're just tuning in, this is my boy Javier, co-founder of HTX Tactical, founder of So Street, a dance company that's toured worldwide, for over 10 years and still doing it. But Javier has recently transitioned into a new business of firearms and guns. And the reason why I kind of wanted to stop the conversation and talk about this is because, people see Break Free as this whole other platform. And so it's like, why guns and why this? I said, well, number one reason why Javier is on is because he is an ex-B-boy transitioned to an entrepreneur and now bringing something different and new, but also education. A lot of people think guns and they think they tie it to something negative. And the reason why there is a lot of bad things happening today is just because I believe that there is no education on guns. So maybe tell us a little bit more about that.
It's that, and then it's also, man, I hate to say it, but it's politics. You got two sides of the spectrum. You got your Democrats and Republicans, and everybody's fighting for power. Everybody's fighting for money, right? And so, and then you got your main media outlets. You got your CNN, Democrats. You got your Fox News, Republicans. So you watch CNN and it's guns bad, guns kill people, guns this, right?
Yeah.
And then you got Fox News where it's
people kill people.
Opposite. Exactly. And at the end of the day, it's like if somebody wants you dead, you don't need a gun. They'll figure a way out.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the UK right now. They're throwing acid on people, hitting people with, moving trucks and I mean, throwing bombs. I mean, it's everywhere.
The world is crazy. We know that, right? The world is crazy.
So coming from the background of outreach, through hip hop from the last 20 years, it's education. I mean, I use my daughter as an example. As a baby, have firearms in my house, obviously, but I educated her from the jump.
Yeah.
She doesn't like guns. I took her shooting. She's not into it. Cool. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But she understands firearms. And if you can educate somebody on it, and again, what I said earlier, education. You got to keep putting it in their face. You got to keep teaching them.
Yeah.
You got to keep educating them.
Yeah.
And I do that with my daughter. And I mean, I've had guns loaded, in certain parts of my house that it's just like this microphone. It's there. She knows it, but it's like we're watching TV.
Yeah.
I won't touch it. Go play with it.
Yeah.
It's just an education factor.
Yeah. It's important that she knows, that your wife knows,
Exactly. And a lot of people use it for other things. Like I just came duck hunting like a week ago. You could feed your family. You could feed other people.
Yeah.
You can help out however you want. And it just sucks that
bring
media.
some duck?
What's that?
You got some duck with you right
hungry.
I ain't got no duck. Some Peking duck. But I can get y'all some duck. And it's just it's the media.
Of course you can.
It's the media twisting everything and making it seem like it's this and it's that. And like this nation was founded on the Second Amendment, not to protect yourself from other people, but protect yourself from the government, from tyranny.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I mean, think about it. When the English invaded America and burned down their first White House, and it's like, how did we protect ourselves? Obviously back then it was like blunderbusters and things like that. But it's like, you protect yourself not only your family but from the government. Obviously they got nuclear weapons and missiles and like some crazy tanks and whatever the case may be.
Well, I think nowadays everybody's so polarized. It's either, like you said, it's always been majority Republican, majority Democrat. But I think with recent events, whether it be President Trump or whatever. People are just so polarized that it's so hard to find middle ground. So I think you represent a good, you're a symbol of the middle. You know what I mean? You come from, Soul Street could be considered Democratic, and then HTX could be considered Republican. So that's something that's like people should take note of.
You hit the nail in the coffin.
You found the middle, and like you found the balance, which is the right way to go. It's not about picking sides. It's not about, man, if you support this, I can't mess with you anymore. If you do this, if you're a gun owner, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Like that's the wrong energy to have. That's not how we move forward.
Absolutely.
Finding the middle path is how we move forward.
And that's where we sit in the industry, because obviously, like you just said it, gun industry is hardcore Republican.
Yeah.
Entertainment is hardcore Democratic.
Yeah.
And it's like, how are you gonna? It's like telling me to choose. You're gonna be a Blood or a Crip. Like, bro, how you gonna tell me what I'm gonna be?
Yeah.
Like, my thing is,
Democrats, Republicans.
forget guns, forget money, forget all that, right? Just be a good person. If you could help somebody else, help them out.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could do those things in life, man, you'll be okay, and the world would be a cool place. But everybody's entitled to their own thing and think their way of thinking is the right way.
Yeah.
Obviously, we need some type of rules and regulations just to make sure, society functions at a decent level.
For sure.
But it's like some people are like, you do it my way or no way.
And I think even regardless of how we feel, right? Even if we say right now, well, we don't think guns are cool, or we say guns are cool, people are gonna think whatever they want to think.
For sure.
They're gonna feel whatever they want to feel, But at the same time, we're trying to talk about something different, bring something different, and also to educate B-boys and B-girls to say, hey, like, you got to find different avenues or place a higher value in creating a better future for yourself by doing other things. Not saying, hey, go buy guns and sell them. That's not what we're saying. All I'm saying is, like, you have to find something else. You can't just rely on just breaking to get you to the level. I do believe breaking nowadays is very different. Yeah, we talked about sponsorships and endorsement deals. You mentioned Monster. Shout out to Monster Energy. But, like, you all these things are available today. But at the same time, like, I truly believe that anybody that is an artist, right, even football players, baseball players, at some point in their life, they're not going to be able to play, right? So they have to do something else. So continue to create lanes for yourself that are going to just open another avenue of revenue for yourself. And for me, that's why I wanted to personally bring you on the show. I know Jeremy can back me on this, because, like, entrepreneurship is a big deal nowadays. There's a lot of young people that are trying to become millionaires, but it doesn't happen overnight. There's so much sacrifice that people don't understand. And I do want to say is that even with all that everyone is capable. Everyone is capable of doing something different, And I wanted to talk about it, and the reason why I'm using B-boys and B-girls, because majority of our followers are probably B-boys and B-girls. But at the same time, I don't think there are enough people telling them, hey, try something else, do something different. Don't just say, hey, I want to become the next Silverback Open champion or the next BC1 champion. You know what I mean? No, find a different avenue. I don't know. What's y'all's take on that?
I think it's also worth noting, too, I think the consensus and kind of like something that's subconsciously embedded into B-boy and B-girl culture is like the rejection of financial success. Is because financial success can be tied to selling out or not keeping it real. And I think that's something that's really a burden to the B-boy and B-girl community. So, like, you mentioned the birth of your daughter is something that got you motivated to do it, right? But you had to put it in your mind, like, I'm going to go out and make money. Like, you had to say that. And it's safe to say, like, we all say that. In order to make money, you have to, you could do what you love, and you can have passion back behind it, and you can, have another message behind it. But business is business, and if you don't put it in your mind, I want to go out and make this amount of money, and you set these goals, it's not going to happen. Right. So I think that's an important message to say to B-boys and B-girls, because I don't think a lot of B-boys and B-girls put that in their mind, because whatever factors it may be, I just think it's a subconscious thing in breaking culture to reject money. And it's so funny because it's talk about polarization, like in hip-hop, in rap, that's like the number one thing. And people always, in the B-boy and B-girl community, reject modern-day hip-hop and talk about, well, they talk about his money and all this, but, like, they're providing for their families. They're doing what they love. They're doing what essentially you want to do. So I think it's important to point that out. And I wanted to ask you, is that something that like you put in your mind at one point? Like you couldn't have done HTX Tactical without hip hop, without breaking.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, or it wouldn't have been the same. But there was a certain point where you have to say, I have to hustle and I have to go and get this money.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, I didn't just say like, what business is going to bring me the most money, right? I didn't do that. It's first, what do I love to do? And when I found out what I love to do is, how can I make money by doing what I love? Obviously, number one, b-boying.
Yeah.
Right? So it's going to be part of my DNA. How can I make money doing that? Obviously, doing shows and doing all that.
Yeah.
Cool, made money. Been to firearms, all right? It's like, all right, how am I going to make money doing firearms? And it's the same thing. So it's not like a get quick or get rich scheme, something like that, you know? So it's like, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to put my whole entire effort into it. And that's something, that's what, you know, I'm about. That's one thing I respect. Like, I always tell people all the time, it's hard to find people like me. And the only person I really found, like, that's on the same level is obviously you. You know, going out there and going and get it and, you know, time away from the family. And, you know, we've talked off camera plenty of times about personal situations that's going on in life, right?
Yeah.
With doing family and health.
Yeah.
And, you know, things like that and just being away from the family.
For sure.
And, you know, and to all the B-boys and B-girls out there, invest into yourself.
Yeah.
That's where you're going to make your most money.
Yeah.
You know, reinvest into yourself. It's like, I know some people now.
You're your biggest investment.
Exactly. I know people now who will get, you know, who make some good money, but they're not investing to themselves. You know, you might make $3,000 and I'm going to go buy me a chain or, you know, a watch, some shoes, some clothes. It's like, bro, with that money, you can go invest yourself. I mean, you see this right now. It's cool. You know, I like it, but it's not doesn't really mean that much to me.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
It's an investment.
Yeah.
Because if I ever did go broke for whatever reason, I can go resell this. You know,
for sure. Yeah.
And I'm still repping my brand at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
And so one thing I think a lot of people have issues with as far as business is when they take that first L. Because trust me, when you go into business, you will take a lot of L's. You will lose money, you will make money, you will lose it again. But that's good because it's going to help you grow. So you won't make that mistake again. So you got to understand how to take that and not let it bring you down or get stressed out.
Right.
You know, me, like, you know, it happens, cool. I'll take it a punch on the chin, whatever, and I'll keep it moving. And like figure out a way, all right, that didn't work. What do I got to do next to make it work?
Right.
But that's an important thing, what a lot of people don't do, because if it was easy, everybody would do it. It's not easy, you know.
Yeah.
And I tell, even when we do school shows, I'll tell people all the time, you know, find something that you want to do, gain as much knowledge as you can, and, you know, I don't know, I was like, you probably going to fail like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, however many times.
Yeah.
But the key is to get back up and do it again.
Keep going.
Because that's growth, because you learn from that situation.
Yeah. So how long, with all that being said, how long have you guys been in business as HTX Tactical?
So January will be a year and a half.
Oh, you guys are brand new.
It's pretty crazy.
Brand new, but we took the industry by storm.
Yeah.
You guys had a first location and then you moved into a bigger
Correct.
location.
So even getting to that, transitioning from, you know, like dance, and I'm still dancing now, but
He'll smoke you still.
but yeah, so initially what I was gonna do is I connected with a friend, well, not a friend no more, but a guy that I grew up with, and he was a military veteran, and obviously I come from an entertainment background, so I was like, you know what? Let's get together. Let's kind of start a TV show and go to like whether it's a gun show, a gun shop, or anything that involved like the 2A community, right?
Yeah.
Get a bunch of different episodes, get that all together, package it up, and then present it to like a Discovery or, you know, whatever channel, right? Yeah. So you can get a TV show. That actually started taking off.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the dude I grew up with, you know, he wasn't a good person per se. I don't know if I can say certain words on this channel, but you know.
Go ahead.
He's a hoe. But anyway, so you know that didn't work out, and it was actually taking off. Like it would start blowing up. I started getting sponsorships from all these companies. Followers start jumping up quick before the algorithm hit on Instagram, and then that hit. And for me, it's like if I can't work with you, I will cut you off. Like if you're not bringing something to the table and you're not professional, because I know what I'm going to bring.
Right.
So I need you to meet me at least 3/4 of the way, because I know one thing I learned is like not people are going to work as hard as me, and that's something I had to accept. And that's one of the things that kind of bothered me just running business. Like, man, what? I'm gonna work hard. Like, why can't you work hard? Like,
Yeah,
sometimes I didn't get that.
Yeah, that's always tough. We talk about that all the time. It's hard to, you know, when you're building something and you're growing something, it's hard to turn that over to somebody because,
For sure.
like you said, no one's gonna do it like the way you do it, right? No one's gonna do it the way we do it. But part of growing is trying to trust other people
sure.
to build with you and build that for you, because that's the only way you scale a business.
Yeah, for
right?
sure, absolutely.
Because eventually we'll die out, we'll spread ourselves thin, you know. And I know that's tough, but it's part of the game.
It's definitely tough. And then so I ended that, and then I met this guy I met on Instagram, and basically how that relationship started was it was called HTX Tactical. He had like one small little table similar to this at a gun show with a couple little small parts and whatnot. And then so I was buying stuff at cost. That way he won't lose money, and I didn't have to pay a lot of money, you know, to get, you know, whatever I need for videos or content or whatever the case may be. And so, you know, when I ended that, I was like, man, what am I going to do? Like, you know, this is what I want to do. What am I going to transition? Because I know I'm not going to be able to dance forever.
For sure.
So what can I do?
Trust me, I know.
And then it just popped in my head, and I had a whole game plan of what I wanted to do. Set a meeting with him, and I told him, hey, this is, you know, the plan that I have in my head, da-da-da. I mean, I'll make this happen. You know, let's make it happen. And then so we were doing that, and then we was like, man, we need some type of facility or something. So we got this small office, probably about the size of this area right here in an office building, like 100 square feet. Literally, you could put a desk and like this little folding thing with a couple parts, you know.
That's crazy.
Got the Instagram and kind of start, you know, working with that.
What was the actual size of the office? Do you know? Do you remember?
It was probably like 120 square feet.
So like, you in a year and a half, you went from a 120 square foot office to a 4,000 square foot facility.
But there was stuff in between. So in that office building, it was a nice office building.
Yeah.
And it was like $300 a month or something like that, right? Yeah. Even then, I was like, man, I'm gonna pay this rent this month, you know, like. But it's like, you know, for me, I'll jump into some and, you know, make it work.
For sure.
Because you may have a game plan, but it's never going to go the way you want it to go, right? I mean, you know that. So it's like you have to roll with the punches when it happens. And so maybe like 2-3 months into that, there was actually a little spot, just a little bit bigger. Maybe the total was, I want to say 600-700 square feet.
So 120 to 600-700.
Correct. And so in this facility, it had like a small little storefront and its own little door to go into that part of the building. Everything else, you had to go through the building and go to the other offices. And so I was like, you know, if we're going to make this pop, we need this. And remember, at this time, we still are not selling guns, even though we have a license for it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just small little parts. And so we get the other spot in the same building, just around the corner, signed like a year lease, and start getting a little more inventory, start reinvesting. You know, we got little people come, spend a little bit of money, don't touch it, just reinvest it. And then, so we have $1,500 in the bank to start it off.
$1,500.
$1,500. That $1,500 went to Mario to build a website and all that. And so,
shout out Mario.
Shout out Mario.
Yeah.
So if you don't know who Mario is a legendary dancer from Havoc Choral, original choral founder, but he is also creative director of Break Free. A lot of people don't know this. He does a lot of our digital marketing and helps us create campaigns and stuff for companies that we work with.
So that $1,500 went to Mario to do
and
that.
CYE Lifestyle, my bad.
Yeah. So to do that, and then man, it's just keep reinvesting. Like I said, reinvest into yourself. You know, we're able to buy, you know, a firearm here, firearm there. You know, eventually, you know, it's kind of growing. The word's kind of spreading. And then maybe like 6 months into that, you know, we started growing pretty quick, you know, with the whole idea that we had of what we wanted to do. And so we went looking for another spot. We're like, man, we can't, it's kind of weird. We're in the office building. Sometimes people walk through the front with like, oh, funny story, you know, Chile, right?
Right.
Looks crazy already, like a crazy biker. Like, he looks crazy. You would think he was like Hell's Angels or something, right? And so he's walking through like the front door with just a 12 gauge in the hand, no case, and walking. And he's like, hey, I'm in the front. And so there's like 2 hallways to get to the same area. So he goes this way, and I'm coming this way, and I barely miss him, right?
Head,
but there's like people walking in the building. They're just like, you know, what's going on? Like, and so he comes, and, you know, that was just a funny story. But then we started like, you know, we needed a bigger spot. So we started looking around, and we found the spot that we're at now. We literally had that spot for like 6 months before we even moved. dealing with, obviously the firearm industry and ATF and FBI and government paperwork and all that, it takes a while. And then working with leasing people, and a lot of people are kind of scared.
And then you got to do your build out and how you want it.
And a lot of people are scared to touch the industry just because what the media is put in people's heads, right?
For sure.
And so it makes it seem like it's just this bad thing until you really get too deep into it. So we got this new spot, and I was like, look, this is all me. Like, just like this. I'm going to take care of everything in here, full gut renovation. Like, we knocked down walls, took up carpet. So we did a complete 100% renovation. And the spot that I built now was like, to me, obviously, again, being a B-boy, wanting to be fresh, I want it to look like a museum when you come in. No matter where you look, it's like, dang, that's dope.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's dope. Like, even for instance, like my restroom sign on my door, it doesn't say restroom. It's an AR-15, and where the shells eject from the chamber is like, it looks like it's pissing out bullets. And it's dope. An article did it, And again, we brought in an article. Shout out my boy. 20 years plus deep in the game, legend in his own right, in the
graffiti
hip-hop
writer.
world. Graffiti writer. And, I was like, I will continue using the homies, obviously. Let's get paid with each other. Yeah. And he's dope. And so it was only fitting that, put him part of the team. So now he's doing all the crazy paint jobs and, us working with each other as a company. But, yeah, long story short, that's where we're at now.
That's cool, man. I think it's, pretty tight to say that, like, in just a year and a half, you guys have become a business. For sure. A lot of businesses don't become a business till like
2-3 years into it.
And sometimes, sometimes at the very least 5 years, and I can legitimately say you guys are a business. And also too, even was very impressive for me. I remember just following you guys on HTX Tactical. And I remember you guys were like at 2,000 followers.
For sure.
Then you jumped to like 5,000. And then you went to 20,000. Where are you at now?
We're about to hit 60 with a few more followers.
Yeah, so 60,000. Where can they follow you?
Go to IG, go to @HTX Tactical if you want to see some crazy dope stuff. And the thing is, like, I mix, it's just not guns. I mix the lifestyle. And like what we built is a lifestyle brand.
Yeah.
Like even just with this is our new Center Recon shirt. So
I want that.
Got you. And so what I wanted to do was like, what's a good representation, logo, mascot, whatever you would like to call it, to represent Houston, tactical shooting, NASA.
Space
NASA's
City,
here.
baby.
Exactly. So it's like, tactical astronaut.
Yeah.
And so again, I had another graffiti writer who turned digital artist to make my logo for me. Again, using the community.
Yeah.
And so that thing just blew up like
people loved it.
People loved it. So now,
especially in H-Town.
Exactly, doing this, and now we got the Center Recon. I mean, it's pretty dope.
Yeah, so that's crazy. I remember watching you guys and, just followers, just jumping like crazy. You've sometimes sent me screenshots of like, yo, we just hit 1 million impressions.
Exactly.
Like in a week this past, like that's impressive, And a reason why I say it's very impressive because I know people that have huge followings that are not reaching those type of numbers. And especially going from, let's just say, just a few thousand to nearly 60,000 in a year. That's pretty crazy, I mean, that means you're doing something right. And real quick, I follow you guys, and I see a lot of people in your shop, like a lot of celebrities, a lot of local celebrities, and a lot of mainstream celebrities. Tell us some people that you guys had the opportunity to work with and customize guns for.
So we did a few for Shaq. We just had Drake in the shop. All your Texans.
Drake, Shaq.
Your Texans football players, your Astros baseball players. I mean, the list goes on. I mean, that's much every celebrity here in Houston, obviously.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts.
And then just.
And you even got some of the guys have become like close friends, right? Because I see them pushing it and being influencers for you guys, which has probably helped your following a lot as well.
I mean, man, the city messes with us really hard, and again, it's a lifestyle what we're building because. Not only doing guns and looking cool and functioning properly, but it's like doing the outreach shows, working with the community, just like y'all. I have my own day in the city of Houston, a proclamation from all the outreach that I've been doing, and that's something that's always going to be dear to my heart. That's something I'm always going to do. We actually got a toy drive coming up next month.
Dope.
With HTX Tactical, and y'all more than welcome to be a part of that.
Appreciate that.
And just to give back to the community, and that's always going to be a part of it. Number one, and just being a b-boy is always going to be number one, because I mean. Without, as far as b-boying, like you have to dedicate your time, your body, and everything into it to do it at a high level.
Yep.
And so be able to have that, you know, in your system and understand that you can apply that to different areas. And so that's why when you said that earlier, is, you know, b-boying will open doors for you because it takes a dedication to do that.
Yeah. I have a kind of a personal question on business, but like, I see all these like celebs and all these people coming to you. Where is most of the traffic coming from? Because I think a lot of people, I think their biggest goals are always to attract people. Like, man, I hope, you know, this person sees me so they can use me for this, or they see that I'm supporting them.
Waiting for that cosign.
Yeah, just waiting for that cosign. And you guys have been getting that nonstop.
Yeah,
I mean, you mentioned big names.
Yeah.
Drake.
Scarface just left. We did some crazy
You know,
stuff.
Shaq. Like, how have these people found you? Has it all been like social media?
So initially when we first started, like 99.9% of my business came from Instagram. So you can get rich off Instagram if you do it the right way. You know?
Yeah, man. A lot of different ways.
For sure. You know, and like you said, when I was sending
That's
you all
crazy.
the backstory, like,
Yeah.
I don't talk my business to everybody.
Yeah.
Actually, probably besides like a wife or something, like you're
Yeah.
the only other person
Yeah.
that I actually send you back stuff.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, what's going on in the background.
Because we can relate.
We can relate.
Yeah.
And then, like, you know, we got our little side stuff that we do
Yeah,
to
for
make
sure.
money and all that.
Yeah.
Legally. And, but, you know, it's like, you know, it's cool whenever you can talk to somebody that's a brother that's going through a similar situation in life and who understands.
Yeah,
Because
and it's someone that's gonna understand your success, because nowadays it's so hard. Like, if you know you're doing well and you guys are killing it, and like like your team members, you know, are killing it together. Like if Jeremy and I, Beast, all these guys, we're killing it together. It's hard to share the success sometimes because it comes off arrogant, it comes off cocky, and it may seem like we're trying to come off this way, and then people start to hate us for it.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's part of the territory. But I think that's another reason why I talk to you a lot on the side as well,
Yeah.
and I talk to a lot of other guys on the side as well, because it's cool to share these back end stories with people that are going to
Yeah, for
appreciate
sure.
it, and that are going to be just like, damn, man, that's
and
dope.
another thing too
Happy
is
for
like,
you.
obviously I'm spearheading a lot of the stuff, but I couldn't do it without the team, right? Because in order to have a successful business, you got to have a good team behind you.
course.
And it's like, even with Soul Street, is like getting guys who are good at other things that I'm not good at, and vice versa with the HTX. You know, like my partner's brother, he's an amazing machinist. Like, this dude was doing like building robots out of high school. Like, he was one of the top techs. You know, so him
That's
to
crazy.
be able to run a CNC machine.
That's like our producer here, Josh.
Yeah,
He's
shout out Josh. He's
a
not here.
hardcore tech guy who used to work for NASA.
MVP.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, you have to have a strong team that you can trust, that you can work with to, you know, be successful. And again, obviously, we're going to spearhead most of the stuff. We'll take the brunt of the force, whether it's good or bad, and whatever the case may be. But again, like, you can't do it without a strong team.
Yeah. Yo, I know I had hit you up earlier the week because we talked about bringing you on the show, but I told you if you have any special pieces that you wanted to showcase, I think it'd be dope. I don't know if you brought some with you. If you did,
Yeah, I brought
Like-
a couple things.
Are they loaded?
Of course not.
all right. So they're not loaded. So he got some special pieces. Tell us a little bit
Right,
about
So
them.
before I bring out the pieces, you know, in the gun industry, the community, we live by a few rules. And these rules, if you do not live by them, you will get eaten up, especially on social media. Right?
Yeah.
Right? If you don't live by these rules, like, these gun people will get on your ass. Like,
Okay.
if you don't live by it. So, you
Rightfully
know,
so.
obviously, yeah, rightfully so. You know, obviously, they want to educate too. And a lot of these guys, majority of them are ex-military or veterans or whatever the case
Right.
may be. So it's like, one is always keep your finger off the trigger, right? For sure. Treat a gun like it's loaded. So, like, even if you see me, you know, check it and it's not loaded, even when I hand it to you, you just do the same, just to, you know, for safety measures. One, don't flag anybody, meaning, you know, it's like this in front of somebody's face.
Yeah.
You know, other than that, man, if you can live by those rules, you'll
Point it down, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Always
Just
have
don't point it at somebody.
Yeah.
You know, or if you're going to shoot, know what you're shooting at and know what's behind your target. Because
And just for safety, how about you handle everything and you showcase it?
yeah, no, for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
even with this, is like, you know, obviously they're all cleared out, but you know, we'll do that. So
We'll go switch
Number
that,
one.
switch that angle to go to him.
Okay.
So we'll start off with this first one right here. And so this is the official Paul Wall Candy Apple Glock. You know,
Come on, baby.
so Paul, shout out my boy Paul Wall. He's actually been one of our first and biggest supporters when we first started, like from the jump when I was in that small office.
Yeah.
So he was one of the first celebrities.
Paul always supports local Houston, man. People don't know.
People, they'll say what they say about his music, whatever, but if
Who
they
said
don't
something
know,
about his music?
yeah, you just go jump him.
Nah,
But like, he's one of the people in this city that gives back so much to this community without people even knowing. There's been a couple of times, like, I'm gonna tell the story, and obviously we didn't put it out there. Long story short, there was this girl at my daughter's school, high school. Her uncle or somebody was, molesting her and,
wow,
doing some other stuff like real bad. So what we did is like, you know what? I talked to Paul about it. What we did is he put some money down, I put some money down, and then we took her to the mall, and we took her like on this big shopping spree because she didn't have no shoes, and kids at school were making fun of her and doing all that. It's stuff like that we do on the outside that we'll never. Obviously, I'm telling right now just because of the stories, but like. Something. Oh, hey, look at us. We're helping people.
Yeah.
The only time we do.
You don't have to say.
Yeah,
that.
You don't have to say. The only time we do that is like if we're doing a toy drive and we got the flyers, because obviously we want a lot of people to come to donate to give back to the community.
Exactly.
Right. So stuff like that, we'll definitely put out there. But as far as like helping people on the DL and stuff like that, like you just don't put it out there.
That's dope, man. That's dope. You guys did that.
But shout out to Paul. This is the official Paul Wall Candy Apple Glock. I don't know if y'all can see it.
Candy
There
Apple.
we go. So this is a custom paint we did. We hit it with the laser, and then we did his Order Mob logo. It's kind of a take on the old Houston Order logo. We got our HTX backplate.
You can hold it up a little higher.
It's all up. It's all upgraded. We did the slide cuts, all the indentions, the barrels, the triggers. I mean, you name it. And obviously, we're clear.
Good looking this guy.
Clear.
That's crazy.
Clear. But so this was just your standard black Glock 19. Obviously, right now it's a paperweight.
Yeah.
And a lot of people they get scared of it's a gun, but it's a paperweight right now. And what I tell people with firearms, if you've never handle them like this first before you even put ammo in the mag and you go to the range to shoot.
Right. So what is a standard cost for a Glock 19? What is the standard? Like
cost,
if I wanted to go to the store right now and buy me
a
regular Glock 19, what does it cost?
Glock 19 Generation 4 is $570. Right.
All right. So almost $600.
That's
$600 with taxes, right?
Yeah, about $600. Now to get something like this is $2,500.
$2,500
with the customization.
Yeah, I mean every single thing has been changed out from a custom trigger, barrel, slide cut, custom paint, laser logo. I mean the
custom
pins,
grip.
Every single thing. There's nothing left that's standard on this.
So you basically got a Glock and just revamped it.
Yeah,
from
exactly
bottom up. That's pretty crazy.
You can check it out. So remember, no finger on the trigger.
Watch out, bro.
You're already flagging more. Already flagging more.
That's why I said let Javier.
Oh, he said it. He handed it to me.
Yeah.
Let me see that thing.
It's crazy.
See, now I guess we got to hold it.
You gotta hold it. It's a great way, but
it.
just practice those rules. You'll be all right. And then even with the magazine, we took the bottom piece off. And switched it out to a little gold one just to match everything.
That's crazy, man. So you guys break it all up.
Oh, we take it apart.
That trigger is sick.
That's a CMC Texas-made trigger.
I don't know if y'all can see
Probably
that.
3 pound. It's got a little shoe on it.
That trigger is crazy.
That trigger alone is a $200 trigger.
Just the trigger is $200.
That's a $200 trigger.
That's like a basic gun.
Yeah. A cheap gun might not save your life, but
that's pretty nuts, man. That's nice. $2,500 at HTX Tactical.
But with this one, you get to meet Paul Wall and do some other stuff. And so this next one's pretty cool. Obviously, everybody's seen RoboCop, and everybody's heard of a Desert Eagle, right? But
tell us a little bit. For those that don't know, tell us a little bit about
this one. This one got some weight behind it.
Yeah, because let me tell you something. When I first learned about a Desert Eagle, I was probably about 8, 9 years old.
Yeah, for sure.
I
RoboCop,
still,
right?
Yeah, I still remember. And them things, I remember even seeing them in magazines, not just movies, but them things are like huge.
Humongous, right?
Insane. Huge.
So they come in a couple different calibers. You got your 50 caliber, you got your 44 Magnum.
Yo, Peter Babineau says, what's up, Javier?
Peter Babineau, what's going on?
Raglan.
Shout out to
that boy Ragtag.
Shout out to Article and Luxury
Hey,
for
why's your name Peter?
Yeah, well, I think that's his. I don't know.
He's using his son's YouTube account.
We always find something new.
Bro, I've known him like 25 years, bro. Where's Peter come from?
It's his son's YouTube account.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, let's go to this Desert Eagle.
All right, so this Desert Eagle, right? This one, we put our own touches to it. We dipped it in 22 karat gold and nickel.
22 karat gold and nickel. Look at that. That's some straight up mafia situation right there. Wow. What is a normal cost for a Desert Eagle?
Before all that.
Before all that.
One, you're probably between, depending where you get it from, 15 to 2,000-ish.
Oh, so they're already expensive.
Yeah, they're already expensive. And then, obviously, whenever you do all this to it, it jumps up to like 3,500.
Okay.
Not too
bad.
Not too bad.
Considering the gun's already 15 at
Yeah.
2, so 3,500. Even if it was 4,500,
Yeah,
I
for
think.
sure. I mean, if you're a broke b-boy, it's not gonna work for you.
That's
so
insane.
when you carry something like this, what is the
You
usual
don't even
way?
care. Like, how do you?
That's what I'm saying. Is it in a holster or what? You don't even.
Well, I won't let it touch the.
Yeah, don't let it hit there.
That's definitely not a
Jeremy
piece.
just knocked
It's-
$500 off.
It's definitely not a piece that you would want to carry around. Obviously, for many, many different reasons.
It's a good showpiece,
It's
like to have at your
a
house.
showpiece at the
right?
house. You know, whenever you and your buddies, and like I'm cool with your family, your brothers, like gun guys as well.
There's a lot of fingerprints on it already.
Well, that's from Jeremy. But
Desert Eagle
you get the orange rag to wipe it off.
44 Magnum pistol. See that? That is a crazy gun, dude.
How much does it weigh? Do you know how much it weighs?
Yeah, you're probably close to
5 pounds?
yeah, somewhere in that area.
Yeah, it's a heavy gun.
I mean, I just don't get guns and put them on a scale.
44 Desert Eagle, 22 karat gold, plate and nickel. I would just buy this and stare at it.
Yeah, for sure.
Look at that. I just want to clean it. I need a picture, bro. Can I get a picture with it before I leave?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, for sure.
How much is that one for? 3,500?
Yeah, this is 35.
Is that the price tag on it?
Yeah, that's 35.
3,500 HTX Tactical.
So you have that
44
one. You had
Desert
that one
Eagle.
for sale already. It wasn't a custom job for somebody.
No, it's like every once. So even with the custom stuff, we'll do a few custom pieces and have them in the shop to kind of show the work. But it's kind of tough to have a custom piece because like you may like it and he may not like it, and then I got a lot of money tied into it, right?
Yeah.
So basically, we have a couple shelves where it's just standard firearms, and then he's like, you tell me what you want. You
Yeah.
come in, tell me what you want, and then we make it happen. And for the most part, that's how it usually goes. But right now, I got some crazy pieces in the shop. I got a gold Tommy gun right now.
I've seen that.
It's crazy.
I've seen that. Do you guys ever create something like where it's just something on your own that you create? Do you ever get emotionally attached to something where it's just like, man, I think I want to keep that one?
Funny question. So, just again, I'm on my third Glock 43, which is
Wait,
before
before you answer this question, how many guns do you have?
I would have more, but I keep selling them. Not intentionally, but like
People
somebody-
just offer you good
yeah,
money.
be like, exactly. And you know,
just
they're
can't
my
say no.
personal pieces. And I'm like, yeah, I really want to sell it, but you're gonna have to make me a nice offer to take it off of me.
Yeah.
And so now, with that being said, I'm on my third Glock 43, which is the smaller Glocks, just because the first one I did a black and OD green with the astronaut and decked it all out.
Yeah.
Somebody really wanted it. I'm like,
That one was fire.
you know what
I
I'm
know.
talking
I know
about?
who bought it.
Yeah,
I know who bought it.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so, boom, gone.
Yeah.
So after that, I did another one, and I called it Bar Baby, which was like a color shifting purple. And
Yeah,
just
that
gold
one was fire,
accents.
too.
I saw that one.
And that was like mad dope. And
You saw that
again,
one?
You sold that one too?
well, the thing is, like, I'll be at the shop, and then when I'm in the shop, I'll carry a different piece, something bigger, and just in case if a situation arises, I have a piece on me, right? Which it won't, but just in case.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I'll just throw my personal one on a shelf just to show the work that we do. Like, if you want to get something done, blah, blah, blah. And then again, sometimes
I want that one.
You got your ballers who come in and be like, hey, that's the one I want right there. What's my personal? All right, how much you want for it? And so now I'm on my third one. I'm like, I'm just gonna keep this one almost regular, and I'll just make some custom pieces and just leave them there that way. Cause I'm not trying to toot my horn, but like when you do live shows for 20 years and you've been around the world and you try to learn everything, right? And that's another key. If you want to grow and do your own business, is try to learn as much as you can about everything.
Right.
About everything. Whether it's a different culture, genre, I mean, whatever the case may be, because then
whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever. Just learn.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I do. Like, I want to know about everything. Like, I'll ask questions, even if it sounds stupid. Like, it's cool because I'm getting smarter.
Yeah.
You know, I'm getting more knowledge, and so just learn. Because when you do that, you can adapt and you can fit into anywhere and everywhere you want to go. And so, doing live shows all over the world, getting involved into these communities and different cultures, like you get an understanding. You know, I don't know everything, but you get a nice understanding of what's going to work, what's not going to work,
Yeah.
how people react. And I already know I got a dope style.
Yeah.
And so anything I make is going to be, you know, pretty cool, and people are going to want to copy.
And you have that confidence.
Exactly.
Have that confidence, you know.
And
ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, there's definitely nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you want to be the best, you have to have the confidence.
You gotta trust yourself.
If you don't have that confidence, sorry to tell you, but you will not make it.
Yep.
You will get broken really, really quick.
Yep.
You know, so you got to have that.
So do you get emotionally attached?
Like
if you guys,
I think
they come out the back and be like, "Yo, check out what we just did."
Honestly, I don't get emotionally attached. It's more of like now.
Because if the money's right,
what gets me going, it's not even necessarily money, but it's like I enjoy starting a business from scratch.
Yeah.
And watching it grow.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's fun.
And then you can look at it and be like, man, if we did that, I know it could even get better later on.
Exactly.
So you ain't
and like the
tripping.
crazy thing is like, you know, obviously we've grown a lot. We took it pretty far, but like we're still scratching the surface. Like there's so much. There's a bunch of there's a bunch of other plans.
Scratched?
There's a bunch of other stuff that I'm about to get into and tie up into and just grow it on a whole other level.
Can you speak more on that? What's like the future vision? Can you share?
So
not
you don't have to share everything.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, one is like what I wanted to do in Houston. My initial goal was to take over Houston because obviously this is where my store is and I want you to come to my store.
Yeah.
Now it's like, and it's already happening, but growing nationally.
In terms of like customizing firearms.
Exactly. Like we have people now coming from different states.
Yeah.
You know, just coming from this state just to come visit you. Like we just recently had somebody from Hawaii, Alabama, Alaska.
Well, you got like celebs like Drake.
Yeah, exactly. And you got that, and like even the Drake situation, right? I never posted a picture.
Yeah.
I never posted none of that. Obviously, as a brand, you know, he's.
Well, you got to respect. That's their privacy.
No,
you know?
and I could have,
yeah.
but it's like I didn't do that for certain situations, certain reasons.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's just growing it on a national level now. And like I said, even though I'm kind of, well, I guess I'm tell the world now, but I'm kind of semi-retired from touring, just because like I just came back from this 1 month tour, and the biggest value in my life right now is my time. So wherever I'm at, my time is super valuable because where I'm going to be is going to grow.
And then you got a boom. You got a booming business back home that if it loses you,
exactly,
it loses value.
Exactly, and just growing on a national brand, and you'll see that I'm still going to be making a lot of moves. I'll still be doing a lot of traveling, but just to certain events or certain places that I need to be and show face and make that network happen. And just growing on a bigger level, and it's been happening, but now it's really time for me to make that happen.
Yeah, I think that's dope, man. I think that you've definitely have taken your passion and really leveled up with it. You know, a lot of people always talk about, I want to level up, I want to change the game, and they always wait for January 1st of the new year to do something different. But there's no really like. It's tomorrow. It's right now. It's like get to it. Now, you did it. You're still doing it. We talked about it right before the show started, that how like we're never satisfied. We talked about it on the show. We're just never satisfied. And when you have that hunger mentality, you're always going to create something different. Maybe in 5 years, HTX Tactical becomes a $100 million company, and then you sell it and you start something else. You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know. And I think that's the beauty about like what we do as artists, entrepreneurs, is that we're always creating, we're always innovating, we're always trying to solve a problem one way or another, and I think you're a perfect example of that, dude. So that's
sure.
pretty dope, dude.
It's the same. Like I love watching y'all grow, and I'll text you randomly and tell you like, hey, I like keep pushing it, keep getting it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for sure.
I like that. I respect that. And even though, for instance, like you got Break Free Educational Outreach Kids, Soul Street Educational Outreach Kids, it's like, why can't we work with each other?
Exactly.
That's always been one of my things, and I never got it why other people don't want to do it, whether it's a greedy thing or whether it's...
Well, speaking on that, remember when we did that awesome Christmas show?
That was actually show could have got pretty big.
It could have been something.
That was a super dope show.
The people who did see that, y'all were very lucky to see that.
Yeah. They are very lucky.
Very
that was imagine like Home Alone and Friday and like
it was so much
B-boy.
fun.
Exactly.
Man, oh, man, it was
Home
amazing.
Alone and Friday
Mixed
put
together.
It really
man,
was.
It was a super dope show.
It was a full hour, hour 15.
Might have been 2.
Almost 2
Yeah.
hour full
It was
production.
like close to 2 hours.
Hour and a half,
Yeah,
2
man.
hour production.
For sure.
Match
Comedic.
Oh man.
You know, high energetic. I mean, high intense, energetic.
So much fun, bro.
It was.
Just a very fun
Super sweet.
family show. Family show.
Absolutely.
You know.
But it'll work for anybody.
Yeah.
You know,
It
and
did.
obviously there was like borderline jokes, but it was
Everyone was able to grasp a little
Exactly.
bit of it, man. But yeah,
even the
that's
story that we told out.
and
that was
that's
pretty
that's crazy. Is you're right, man. It's just like I think a lot of people are always like, well, I don't want to work with them because you know people are so tied up to themselves. They feel like they can do it on their own. And I'm gonna be straight up with you guys. Is like no one can do it on their own. And if you are doing it on your own, you're struggling and you're killing yourself
Let 'em probably get the
mentally
best of you.
and physically.
Yeah,
like
for
you
sure.
are like. So maybe I take it back. Maybe you can do it on your own, but you're gonna kill yourself doing it on your own. You know what I
You're
mean?
not gonna make it without a strong team.
Yeah.
You know, whenever you find a team that's either better than you, or who's gonna bring a different value to the situation. That way you can learn from them and they can learn from you, and y'all can grow and get better.
Yeah, man. Yo, real quick, we got a
something
gift for you, man.
homie.
We got a little gift for you.
In the spirit of the holidays,
I like
CYE
gifts.
lifestyle.
You know what I'm saying?
I
Little
like it.
create your escape gear, CYE lifestyle sweater, a pioneer. Why?
Nice.
Because you're pioneering
Yes,
something,
sir.
bro.
Exactly.
Let's
You
get
know,
it.
so this is
That's
one of our
it.
popular sweaters.
That's why we make this brand.
You know what I mean?
Appreciate it. Yeah, I was kind of sad I wasn't in the show, that walkway show.
Changing the game.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of gear coming
Appreciate
in
that.
this week.
Appreciate it. Matter
Come
of
back,
fact,
come back early next week or later this week.
Gotcha.
We're gonna hook you up with some more.
Yeah, and check it out. I mean, we got our own stuff too. I mean,
Well, little
stuff is
Poppy.
popping, but I
What?
got, I got some gifts for y'all.
iPhone cases?
Yeah, iPhone cases, pops, everything. This is pass that down to
Oh,
Moy.
thank you, bro. Dope. Is there a
There
gun
you
in
go. Absolutely not.
here?
Oh, thanks, bro.
Yeah,
Let's
so
see what's popping in here. Tell us.
So
a
with
little bit.
this is our new holiday gear. For me, why I wanted to do this was because like during the holidays or Christmas, there's really no cool gear for us fellas, especially in the industry that I'm
Yeah,
in.
that's
So
dope.
we did a center recon with custom firearms falling out of Santa's bag, and even in the back it's like it's got the leaves, and then
Come
so
and swing it, baby.
so with this is
Sick.
cool, and it's been taken off because the come and swing it is in the gun industry, or about the
and
Alamo,
take it.
is the come and take it, right? Well, we're from Houston, and you see swingers on cars, so it's like come and swing it, and we put swingers on a cannon.
Sick.
And so that logo's been taken off, and then we got our
What's up with the license plate?
so the Texas license plate, it says 223556, which is the caliber that an AR shoots.
Oh, wow,
They
okay.
shoot different caliber, but the
Yeah.
main one is the 223556 caliber.
I
So
thought
we
you
did a
gave-
play
I thought
on
you
that.
Give me your phone number, bro.
I'll give you that too. Hey, and so another one, that's our OG
This-
Recon.
this is-
what
this is
what
the
took off.
logo.
That's the OG right there.
That's the OG logo
and then
right
the
there.
other one is the Sniper Recon. Well,
Oh,
that's,
this one.
yeah, that's the Sniper Recon, the more newer one. He's just on a nil position with a SCAR
Sick.
17. And,
then
then
you
the
got-
HTX logo has the Astrodome at the top. Some people
Put it up high.
catch it and whatnot. And these are all weather decals, just on the rev. So if you start driving around Houston, you'll see it on people's cars everywhere.
That's
Yeah.
dope.
Like I have people on the IG and stories
send
just
it to you.
tagging in and just random stuff.
To me, that's what I love about the most about your brand, and is that it's a brand.
Absolutely.
That people can not only go to your store and just buy a firearm and think like this is HTX Tactical. No, but like this, I've seen this logo on other
Yeah, for
people's
sure.
cars. I've seen it somewhere. Just people wearing it, the
Yeah, just
shirts. And so,
randomly.
I love when businesses become brands because I think that's what makes them scale on a bigger level.
Absolutely.
Is when a business can become an actual brand that people want to rock and want to represent.
And that's going to give you longevity
Super dope.
too.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man.
No,
Thank
for
you
sure,
for
man.
gifts.
Appreciate
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
sir.
yeah, man, we appreciate you coming on the show. Are there any final words that you want to leave? I mean, obviously, give us where they can follow you, and any last words for
Yeah, so,
people watching.
We're redoing our website. It's going to be up within this next week. So if you want to order pretty much anything, you definitely get that from there. But follow us on social media at HTX Tactical. And if you have any questions about firearm or anything that you ran into, or just about life or business, you definitely could send us a DM, and I'll get to you there.
Yeah, and real quick before we get off the show, so last week I was doing a Yeezy raffle, so I'm giving away some Yeezy 700s. So for everyone that subscribe or purchase something from Create Your Escape CYE Lifestyle, I'm putting your name in my hat right now.
Can I throw my name in there?
We're gonna see. We're gonna see who's gonna win.
I'm gonna take that as a no.
What's up? What'd you say?
Can I throw my name in there?
Oh man, you know what?
Look, I'm broke.
Actually, hold on. Let me take these headphones on. This is what we're gonna do.
Put it in the box.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna put it in the HTX Tactical bag.
Yep.
Let me take these items out real quick.
It's easier to do this.
There you go. Here we go. So we got, I don't know,
So how did they get into this raffle?
50, 60 names or something like that.
How did they get into this raffle?
So a lot of people that were entered into the raffle, they either purchased an item on our web store, you know, whether it was a lanyard, the price didn't matter, right? Whatever they bought, they got 2 entries, and for every subscription on YouTube within the past, you know, week or so or 4 days, they got 1 entry.
So give me the
And
box.
so
I'll take them
yeah,
out.
let's show what they're gonna win.
Ooh, some 700.
Yeah, to a lot of people, you know, it may not be a big deal for them, but for some people, it's hard to get Yeezys.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
It's hard. It's an expensive shoe, and so we're gonna give them away for free. You know, Yeezy 700, size 9, dead stock. Someone's gonna win them right now, and if you don't claim them,
They're my size.
I'm gonna give you guys 3 days. So if you're not watching right now, you got 3 days to claim this. And you're going to email me personally at moy@breakfreeworldwide.com.
Follow these instructions.
moy@breakfreeworldwide.com. And if you don't, I'm just going to do another raffle and somebody else is going to win them. So if you guys have been following everything that I've been posting, you guys should know that I was going to do the Yeezy raffle today. So I'm going to throw them in the bag, and we're going to let you pick it, bro.
Yep.
Yes,
sir.
Shake it up.
You're going to be the one responsible.
You know what? Before we do that, actually, I'll throw in one of my shirts in there too.
Okay.
Get from the things, and I'll throw some in there as well.
Free Yeezys and an HTX Tactical shirt. Someone's going to win right now.
The shirt costs more than the Yeezy.
Here we go.
All right, let's see what we got.
Just pick one, bro.
Nabil Camille.
Nabil
Camille, baby.
Nabil Camille, you want some Yeezys, my bro.
I have to pay the international shipping, I think.
So Nabil, if you're from France, that international shipping gonna cost you. Nah, we got it, bro. You got HTX Tactical shirt, some Yeezy 700s. So if you're watching, you got some Yeezys.
Yeah, before we sign off, big shout out to Houston Media Source, our sponsor, sponsoring all our gears. Yes, sir. Throwing up that logo, HMS. Check them out. Been doing great work.
Houston Media Source, man, supplying us with the equipment and just been supporting Break Free. Shout out to my boy Danny Reyes, who just walked in the building. Yo, come over here real quick. Come over here.
New sponsor of the Break Room.
We got a new live podcast that happens during the week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, around 12 noon.
Yes, hosted by my brother and I.
Yeah, hosted by Palmer and Jeremy.
Taqueria del Sol,
owner
baby.
of Taqueria del Sol, right here.
Hashtag I love Del Sol.
Yeah, right there with the Create Your Escape gear. Shout out to Taqueria del Sol, supplying us with some good food.
Matter of fact, where we eating after this?
There you go, Del Sol.
Say
you
no
know
more.
what I'm saying?
Say less, baby.
So, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Remember, every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Central Time, Jeremy and myself, we're always going to try to have on a different guest that's going to educate you guys in different ways to attack life, the break-in, or whatever. You know what I mean? So, always just trying to bring something different, get people on that are going to share a different story, a different journey. So, again, Javier, appreciate you coming on, man. And HTX Tactical, follow them. It's a growing movement. These guys are doing something that a lot of people couldn't do. They tried to do it, but maybe they couldn't do it the way they're doing it. And so changing the game every single day, man. Shout out HTX Tactical. Javier, one more time. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Hey, so
What's up?